Court does call the case of People versus Thomas Styron.
On behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Otatella on behalf of Mr. Thomas Styron, who's to my right, Your Honor.
Before the case even begins, you can feel the tension in the room. The defendant, Thomas Styron, sits across from Judge Simpson, a man known for his no-nonsense demeanor and razor-sharp control of the courtroom. What's at stake here? A series of felony charges including felonious assault and felony firearm. That's not minor stuff. These aren't traffic tickets. This is potentially years behind bars. Viewers, listen closely as the prosecution begins outlining not one, not two, but multiple firearm-related counts. This isn't just a misunderstanding. It's a pattern of escalating accusations. Think about that. When a case starts with firearm mentions this early, you know it's going to get volatile fast. Who's telling the truth here? Was Styron a threat or just reacting out of fear? Stick around. You'll need context before deciding.
Your name?
Thomas Styron.
Thank you.
People start by calling Sergeant Howe.
Sir, if you please come forward and be sworn.
Take a seat, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give to the truth? Yes, sir. Take a first and last name.
All right, you may inquire.
Thank you. And preliminarily, Your Honor, for the record, at the first preliminary exam, the prosecutor at the time put on the record that the people intend to amend the complaint and information to add an added count 4 of felonious assault with the victim being Sergeant Houck, an added count 5 of felony firearm, and an added count 6 of felony firearm. And
So
I do.
2 counts of felony firearm.
Yes.
All right.
And count 4 of assault with a dangerous weapon with the victim being
Oh, that
Sergeant Houck.
you said count 4.
Yeah.
You meant the 4th added, or
Sorry. So we have 3 on the complaint, an added count 4 of felonious assault,
assault?
count 5 felony firearm, count 6 felony firearm.
Okay.
Thank you. And then the basis would be count 5 felony firearm would attach to the count 4 felonious assault. Count 6 felony firearm will attach to both count 2 and count 1, the RNO and the fleeing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Sergeant, where are you currently employed?
Sure.
For how long have you been employed as such? Were you working in your capacity as a sergeant with the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office on January 31st, 2024?
Yes.
Were you working at approximately 12:06 a.m.?
Yeah.
Is that your standard shift that you work is midnights?
Almost 6 p.m.
Thank you. PM, not AM, PM. Correct? So we're talking in the middle of the day. Thank you. My apologies. How did you come to be involved in this investigation?
Sergeant H steps up. His testimony begins methodically. This isn't storytelling, it's reconstruction. When he mentions being dispatched to a domestic, that single phrase tells you everything about police adrenaline. Domestic calls are statistically some of the most unpredictable. Routine 1 second, deadly the next. His language, rapid SOS, geolocation, ping, shows reliance on tech, not intuition. That's modern policing. Data leads, instincts follow. But note his tone. No emotion, pure procedure. That detachment can be safety or danger, depending on what comes next. If you were in his shoes, would you interpret this as precaution or profiling?
Dispatched to a domestic.
What did you understand about the potential domestic?
There was a phone call that came in dispatch, rapid SOS, which is a geolocation for kind of a hang up on a call, and it was pinging in a particular location, so I went to check that space first.
Did you have the opportunity to go to the area where the 911 call was pinging from?
Yes.
Now, when you are being dispatched to something called a geolocation or a 911 call pinging to an area, does that tell you something about the type of area that you're looking for?
It generally gives you intersections where it's closest to.
Specifically in this case, the intersections you were looking for, and let me ask this question a different way. What's the difference between, what is a rolling domestic?
They're in a vehicle, they're moving in a vehicle, and there's a domestic assault taking place while they're in a car, while it's in motion.
Thank you. In this particular case, when you were dispatched to this area, were you looking for a rolling domestic? Why?
That was the call unit.
Did you have the opportunity to make it all the way to the area that you were being dispatched to?
I did. I checked the area and I couldn't find anybody.
What did you do after you did not find anybody at that location?
On the dispatch screen, there was a name that I recognized from previous domestics. The female was involved as a victim.
That's the name you were familiar with.
Yeah.
When you are in this moment back in January 2024 and you are familiar with this particular victim, do you have a suspect in mind?
I had, after some research, a particular person that I know. This specific about him from his car or cat.
Do you know the race of the person that you had in mind as the suspect?
Yeah.
And what was that race? White male. While you are looking around for somebody related to this rolling domestic, do you come across somebody otherwise?
I did, yes.
This other person that you come across, where are they?
So I did some research on the other corner of Tyler and called them. So I went to that location first and checked that. I was stationed there. I was doing some other research on the vehicles that were in the part of the address, and I was asking for all the vehicles that were registered to the particular female victim that I was looking for. So I could go look for those cars that they were out and about. And one of the cars was a Buick with license plate on it.
Now the scene tightens. A Buick, no plates, an officer alone. To civilians, that sounds small, but for law enforcement, it's high alert. No plate equals unknown identity, potential risk. The officer cross-checks the female victim's car registry. That's calculated, not coincidence. This is where reality turns cinematic. He spots a vehicle matching partial details and decides to engage. Legally, this matters. The moment of initiation defines everything that follows: intent, justification, escalation. Was there probable cause? Yes, but was there tactical prudence? That's the debate. Watch how quick routine check transforms into armed confrontation within minutes.
You said a Buick?
Buick Buick turned and went down past my driver's side door with no license plate.
What did you do when you saw that?
I asked dispatch, the person I was speaking to on the lead channel, whether or not they could tell if the lien return for the vehicle plate was a sedan or a van. And I did not get a return from them. I didn't get a response from them, so I actually got stopped.
When you attempted to effectuate a traffic stop, what area were you located in?
I was on Calder. I was facing north.
Were you in the area of Calder and Seneca in Ypsilanti Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan? What is the speed? You were on Calder?
Yes, I'm Calder.
What is the speed limit in that location?
25 miles neighborhood.
When you say that you attempted to effectuate a traffic stop, what did you do to attempt to effectuate a traffic stop?
Red lights initially. I was wasn't to effect the traffic stop.
Fair to say that there was a traffic violation occurring of not having a plate on the vehicle.
Yes, sir. Complete this.
And then in addition to that, you were looking for a suspect regarding this domestic violence situation.
Yes. Fast script of current boyfriend.
When you say the person in the vehicle, you're referring to the driver?
Yes.
Thank you. Once you your emergency lights, what occurred?
The vehicle did not stop.
What occurred? What did the vehicle do instead?
So I activated my siren.
Once you activated your siren, what occurred?
Here's the turning point. The suspect doesn't stop. The second the siren flips on, every legal category changes. Failure to stop becomes potential fleeing and eluding, a felony in itself. What's wild is how short this chase is. Only 20 seconds, yet legally it's massive. Styron's car turning into a driveway looks harmless, but in police training, that's classic escalation space. Limited visibility, unknown cover, and possible ambush. The sergeant's brain is running tactical algorithms, lighting, distance, line of sight, all in split seconds. To viewers, does 20 seconds feel short or deliberate? That's the kind of timing that decides guilt versus panic.
The vehicle kept going.
You said the vehicle kept going. Was there a point that the vehicle came to a stop?
It did turn into a driveway and pulled it.
For how long did this pursuit continue before it turned into a driveway?
About 20 seconds or so. My license started activated.
Once the vehicle pulled into that driveway, what occurred?
Beautiful driveway. Brake lights came out of the car. I could not see the driver's side of the vehicle at that time. The brake lights were on, which indicates to me that the driver was still seated in the car. And as I went to exit my car, the brake lights came off and the car shifted.
So fair to say, because now I'm understanding that you could not see the driver's side. So fair to say when the driver pulls into the driveway, he must be turning right into a driveway.
Yes, you are.
And you are behind his vehicle?
All to the side. I didn't get completely behind him.
When he pulls into the driveway, do you remain on the road or do you pull in the driveway behind him?
I'm still on the road.
And so in this angle, we kind of have an L shape of vehicles.
Yes.
Fair? And you don't have a visual of the driver's side of the vehicle. Thank you. And you've described what you've observed about the brake lights. And then I believe you said you saw the vehicle shifting.
Yes, you can see the vehicle shift.
And what did that tell you?
Indicated with my training experience that somebody was exiting the vehicle on that side of the car.
What did you do when you observed this? And coupled with the brake lights?
Yeah, coupled with that, not being able to see what they were doing, I pulled my fire out and kept it already.
Are you saying, are you exiting your vehicle while you do this?
Yes.
And are you saying anything?
Not until I see the person.
What do you say when you see the person?
Something to the effect that when you put your hands in the car, put your hands in the car.
How are you uniformed during this time?
As I am here, stated in court, I've got a mark 360 degrees to share something.
When you tell the driver of the vehicle to put his hands on the car, where is your firearm?
Still at the low ready.
What does low ready mean? I apologize.
So it's not directly pointed at somebody, but it's lower. It's at the ready to be utilized if necessary.
Thank you.
Directly at them if I need to.
Am I understanding that both of your hands would have been on your weapon?
This moment exposes the psychological fracture of most body cam footage. The officer says his weapon is at low ready. That's a trained posture, not aimed but lethal within a breath. Defense attorneys love to dissect this phrase because it defines intent. Low ready is the legal gray zone between caution and threat. Styron hasn't been violent yet, but the gun is drawn, which means fear already entered the equation. That fear can justify or condemn depending on who the jury believes first. You can see the subtle shift. The courtroom's no longer discussing facts. It's discussing perceptions, who appeared scared and whose fear was justified.
I know I could use it. I had at some points, yes, but sometimes no. I could use my hands to gesture.
I understand. Thank you. The person that got out of the vehicle from the driver's side, if you were to recognize them again, if you were to see them again, would you recognize them?
I would.
And is that person present in the courtroom today?
I would be assuming because he's wearing a mask. I can't.
I understand. Thank you. Your Honor, could you ask him is that appropriate?
He just did.
He has. Okay.
Yes, that would be Mr. Schneider.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Please let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
Without objection, record so reflect.
And so the defendant is the person that you are ordering to put his hands on the hood of the vehicle.
Now comes the physical confrontation. The officer confirms visual ID. Styron is the driver. The command is clear. Hands on the vehicle. Legally, this is the moment authority is tested. Refusal here shifts everything from conversation to resistance. The sergeant moves from caution to control mode, circling the car, weapon drawn but angled down. You can sense how his words, "put your hands on the car," aren't suggestions, they're lawful orders. Viewers, here's the dilemma. Compliance feels humiliating, defiance feels powerful. But in the legal system, the line between those two is the difference between a misdemeanor and a felony. What would you do if you believed you were being unfairly targeted? Obey first or argue?
On the side of the van.
On the side of the van.
driver's side.
When you are ordering him to put his hands on the driver's side of the van, have you walked around to the driver's side of the vehicle with him, or where are you?
I am coming around, so I was stuck on the blind side of the car, which means I couldn't see him. So as I'm coming around the nose of my car, I'm able to finally have him come into view, and he is outside the vehicle. That time, at which time I ordered to put his hands on the side of his van.
And did he comply with that command? What did he do? Do you recall the things that he was saying to you?
Some of them.
Do you recall something along the lines of him being at his house?
Yes.
This indication of essentially he's at his house, so you no longer have authority over him?
Something along that line.
Did he comply with your verbal commands?
No.
Did you did you give him any additional verbal commands of what you wanted him to do?
Yes, in addition to telling him when I stopped him.
Fair to say that one of the things that you're repeating to him is to put his hands on the vehicle.
Yes,
And even while you're repeating it, he's refusing.
that's correct.
While he is refusing to comply with your commands, do you do anything with your firearm?
This is where everything breaks down. Styron refuses to comply even after repeated orders. From a policing standpoint, that's a red flag. Escalation risk skyrockets. From a defense standpoint, fear could explain hesitation, but the courtroom only sees behavior, not emotion. The sergeant's testimony, that he ended it and walked up to make arrest, tells you he was done negotiating. That single decision flips the case from a traffic stop to an arrest encounter. This is the pivot moment, one that determines whether you're dealing with resisting arrest or use of force. When the officer says Styron indicated he was armed, that's where danger turns tangible. Fear on both sides becomes weaponized.
Yes, I am holstering it and just going to walk up and make an arrest.
What was he under arrest for?
Sure.
Are you able to make it all the way to him and effectuate an arrest?
No.
Why not?
As I was approaching, he said I'm armed. So I withdrew my firearm and pointed directly at him.
Why did you do that?
For my own defense.
Once he indicated to you that he was armed, did you see a firearm prior to him being in your physical custody?
No.
Did he indicate to you where the firearm was?
He did.
How did he indicate to you where his firearm was?
He gestured with his hands.
What does a gesture mean? Is he pointing or something? And where was he pointing?
Towards like his midsection area. He was wearing like a sweatshirt.
Did you have the opportunity to observe his hooded sweatshirt at that time?
If I could see it.
You could see it. What does that mean?
I could see the sweatshirt.
Was there anything about his sweatshirt that appeared consistent to you with being in possession of a firearm?
You could see that there was weight in the pocket. I just couldn't identify whether it was a firearm.
So after he's identified to you that he has a firearm in his possession, does he threaten you?
Make a threat, yes.
How did he threaten you?
While just in the time frame of discussing whether or not he was armed with a firearm, he had indicated he was going to cook me.
So let's take that a step back. So what is the conversation that's going on about the firearm?
That he has it, he's armed with it.
What is his tone and demeanor while he's communicating with you?
His argument is he's got a blade stance, which is a defensive or combative stance. It's not someone who is complying with my orders, illegal orders to go and be placed under arrest.
And while he's in this argumentative tone telling you about his firearm, he says to you, "I'm going to cook you."
The phrase, "I'm going to cook you," detonates the room. It's not a vague insult, it's a direct threat. The prosecution will frame it as menacing intent. The defense will argue heat of the moment. But words matter in court. When uttered during a standoff with a firearm present, they become evidence of assaultive mindset. The sergeant's reaction, immediate retreat, and tactical repositioning shows trained fear, not panic. Viewers, this is where perspective splits. One man hears dominance, another hears desperation. Ask yourself, Was this self-defense language twisted by adrenaline or a genuine threat of violence?
Yes, twice.
He says it twice. How did that make you feel?
I thought he was going to shoot me.
What did you do while you were feeling that this armed person who was argumentative with you was going to attempt to shoot you? What did you physically do?
Well, I retreated a little bit. I put my vehicle engine lock between him and me. And then I started looking at the backdrop because I saw movement back there. Female and maybe some kids in the window or some moving in the window of the house. So I had to take into account all that stuff. Something like that's going to happen.
When you say that you're looking at the backdrop, is part of that for the event that a firearm is discharged?
Yes,
Either yours or his?
correct.
Is there a point that he is explaining to you that he intends to defend himself?
Yes,
Is there a point that he says to you, do you understand me?
yes.
Fair. Oh, thank you, Your Honor. The question, do you understand me? Did you understand that to be related to his statements about defending himself?
Now we enter the psychological gray zone. Styron claims he's defending himself. The court loves irony. Every defendant in confrontation cases eventually invokes self-defense. But this isn't about who drew first. It's about who created the threat. The officer's fear was preemptive. Styron's defiance was reactive. That's the paradox that fills jails across America. Do you understand me? That's the line of someone trying to reclaim power in a powerless moment. It's raw, human, and dangerous. Legally, however, it undercuts his defense. It implies consciousness, not confusion. He wasn't panicking. He was challenging authority.
Yes.
While he is saying these things to you about defending himself and do you understand me, is his argumentative tone continuing?
Yes, it is.
Is there a point that you were able to place him under arrest?
Yeah, back at the right scene, we were able to get him to reply.
Backup arriving on scene, would that include other deputies?
Yes.
Is there a point that he's in handcuffs? After he is in handcuffs, is a search incident to arrest conducted?
It is.
Do you know if a firearm was recovered?
Yes, ma'am. We're going to cover the person.
Fair to say that this was I'm going to give this a try here, a handgun?
Yes.
It was a Taurus, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall whether the Taurus handgun was, whether it had any ammunition in it?
I believe I had a little magazine, but it was not around in the chamber.
Thank you. Now, some follow-up questions about what occurred after he was arrested. Did you transport him to the Washtenaw County Jail?
I did not.
Why not?
Well, I was on the way to the Washtenaw County Jail. There wasn't an incident that happened, and with me being a sergeant, I had responsibilities to attend to those situations and emergencies. And I can't take a prisoner to those emergencies. This emergency was a vehicle to a house while undercover units from another police agency were chasing it. And that drew our resources plus myself. So I had to release independent charges.
So you had initially intended on transporting him to the Washtenaw County Jail?
Yes,
There was a point that he was released from your vehicle?
yes, it was.
And that was not for lack of probable cause to arrest?
No.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I have one moment?
You may.
Thank you. Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
Cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, officer. Thank you for spending it with us. Officer, you had stated that you were on a different mission that day. Is that correct?
I guess I was on another call for service at the time that I came across Mr. Starr.
All right. And you were looking for a white male that day?
I was looking for a white female and white animal.
Okay. And what brought you into contact with Mr. Styron?
When I got back, the other vehicles that registered to the female had, one of them was a Buick. I couldn't discern whether that Buick was a sedan or a van, and it didn't have a plate attached to it in the lead return. So when that vehicle came by, I went to the driver, and he slowly made the turn. And when he went by me, he looked like he was alone in the car, but I couldn't be certain until I effectuated the traffic stop to do an investigation.
Okay. And you didn't have a name for the other individual you were looking for?
There was a name. I just can't remember it offhand. It was in the time system related to the
Okay. Now, you stated that you approached, that you made a stop of Mr. Styron, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you stated when you made this stop, you initially flicked on your lights?
Yes, turn my lights on.
Okay. And then, do you know approximately how long those lights were turned on?
I had to review the videotape to be certain.
Okay. Now, when you make stops, do you first turn your lights on?
Yes, lights come on first.
Okay. And then is there a brief pause before the sirens go on?
Generally speaking, yes.
This moment right here is wild. Shouting perjury at the prosecutor almost never ends well. The judge is about to reestablish control, and trust me, he does not play around.